What is going on, everybody? What's going on, fellas? Welcome back. I know we missed you, fellas. I see Seattle Seahawks in the building. I see Slim J in the building. Seattle Seahawks, say about time y'all back on here. We are glad to be back. I am so glad to be back. We had to take a little bit of a hiatus while I went over the pond. But I'm back with my fellas. I'm back with my boys. I am back with the Raven Shogun, JB.
Yeah.
What's going on, JB?
What's happening? Happy New Year to everybody out there. Been gone for a little bit. We'll be back. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Let's go.
Let's get it. And I got the Sage of Sports, my main man, Glass, in the building. What's going on, homie?
What up, fam? JB.
Yeah.
Glad to be back. Man, we've been gone for a long time. Glad it got the whole crew back. Happy holidays to everybody. Let's get it cracked.
Hope everybody having a nice kickoff to the new year and a new decade, man. We're going to try to do it here on TeamBoydTV Live. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been following us since the beginning and the ones who kind of jumped on late. We done finished up another regular season on TeamBoydTV Live. Fellas, give yourselves a hand for that. I think that's our 8th season in the books. You know what I mean? We're going to go ahead and knock out this postseason. But we're going to start by going back a week because, obviously a couple days ago was Black Monday. It wasn't intense, Glass, as it was in years past. It wasn't a whole lot of movement and a whole lot of action going on. But we got a few things happening. But, sadly, I think our boy Ron Rivera for the Carolina Panthers, we talked about that on the last show that we had. That was 3 weeks ago, right? We talked about that already. But the new news is that the Washington team done acquired the services of one Mr. Ron Rivera. I want to get you guys' take on that because I got a lot to say about it. But first, we'll go to you, JB. Washington picks up the services of Ron Rivera. I knew he wasn't going to be unemployed for a very long time. Clearly, he wasn't employed long at all. Washington snatched him back up real quick, and it looks like he's bringing on Jack Del Rio as his DC. Everything look good right now for Washington. What you think about it, JB?
I think so. I think everything they're doing right now is, in contrast, is a plus because they sucked in those areas for a long time. I think if some of the current or old players could go back and say this should have happened 10, 15 years ago, they still probably be playing. Not 10, 15 years ago, maybe 5, they still would be in the league.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think it's a good look for Del Rio and Rivera, definitely.
Yeah, hey, Glass, I think it's like going into a brand new era in Washington. I still feel like Carolina made a mistake and pulled the plug a little too early on Ron. That's a whole nother discussion for another time. But hey, listen, it looked. I mean, as far as the coaching is concerned in Washington, I thought Gruden really, like, the last couple seasons it just wasn't working out for him. So they got rid of him early in the season. What's your take on this?
Hey, man, just how the saying go, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I agree with you. I think the Panthers let go of Rivera too soon. But then again, Washington got a good coach. What was he, 2-time coach of the year?
2-time coach of the year.
3 out of 4 playoff?
Got 3 division titles.
Yep.
Right. So, hey, man, you can't go wrong with that. Like I told you all fair. As long as Dan Snyder stay out of people's way, Washington might do a little damage in NFC East.
Yeah. This is what the only thing I don't like about this whole shit. Yeah. Number one. Okay, so because I was talking to the family about this last night. If they touting Coach Rivera's accomplishments in Carolina, produced the MVP, 3-time division winner, et cetera, how is he good enough to go somewhere else? How is he good enough to go somewhere? How is he good enough for Washington and not good enough to stay where he is?
And you know what? That is the question that I'm glad you brought up, because I was going back and forth with a bunch of cats on Twitter about this whole thing a few weeks ago. And I feel like you're absolutely right. The man got credentials. The man is the 3-time division winner. He's the NFC champion, Super Bowl berth. Had an MVP quarterback on the staff. Then had plenty of rookies of the year, defensive players of the year. The man is amazing. And it's weird that we going on and touting his accomplishments, and now he with another team.
I don't get it, and I'll say this, and not to all Carolina fans, but you're gonna reap what you sow.
Absolutely,
you really will. And if Rivera and because I saw the interaction between him and Cam Newton, it was encrypted, but he might end up playing quarterback for Washington. Then what? Now now okay. So if you wait for a Brady, Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees out of the draft, you fool yourself.
Right.
You waiting for another Cam Newton, you fooling yourself. So these are generational players. We're talking about 10, 15, 20 years before you see anything else like that. Yeah. And if the Carolina Panthers have to wait that long for any type of the word winner associated with that franchise, you deserve it.
I 100% echo everything you just said. I feel like David Tepper's. It's weird because you know what happened, right? So he fires the head coach, and then 2 days later, he secures the rights to a soccer team to bring a MLS team to Charlotte. I feel like his attention is being split. I feel like if you was gonna go with the soccer thing, don't mess with the football thing. Like I don't know what happened.
Well, he used to own part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I believe he knows about football.
Right.
My thing is this, I understand sometimes you gotta have a change of pace in the clubhouse in order to find something new. But then again, okay, you get rid of Rivera, but what's your backup?
Right.
But what happened? What happened though, Glass? You fired the guy for losing and you still lost. I think they lost everything else after that.
They did. Nothing changed.
So the problem was not the coach. I mean, everybody knows around. Listen, man, like I said before all of this stuff started happening, it was just speculation about Cam. The other other NFC South opponents licking their chops. You just kick the door open.
Yeah, shut up dead. I agree. All right, so let's turn. Well, I mean, I feel like Carolina's in trouble. Hopefully they still got North Turner on staff, so hopefully. When and if Cam comes back, hopefully he comes back with a vengeance. Hopefully he comes back really healthy. Hopefully they put a decent line in front of him. Lean on McCaffrey a little bit because I think some of the mainstays are leaving. Like Olsen and all of them. So I think Carolina. I don't know. They interviewed Mike McCarthy last week, right? So that was like the first interview they did. So I don't know. I think it's rough for Carolina right now. Listen.
One last thing.
Go ahead,
Glass.
No, go ahead,
just one last thing. If y'all made a comment about Tepper buying other stuff, and he obviously is a businessman, but how is that a business decision to fire Ron Rivera for absolutely nothing but public opinion,
right,
from the fan base?
Yeah.
How's that even remotely business-like?
Right.
Only way I'll be sufficed with that with the firing is because like I said. You want to you own the team, you want to bring in your own guys and have your own team. I got all that. But then again, just like I said before, if you had your own guy and you brought him up in there, cool. But evidently you don't. Right. Everybody's making moves but the Carolina Panthers. And I don't understand what you wait for. So I ain't going to fire anybody until I know I got somebody slide up in there.
Right, he did it early like he had a plan or something.
Right. Like he had a plan. and that's what I'm saying. That's how I know it was public opinion because you had absolutely no candidate in line.
Right. So some Jay said North is getting fired. So I didn't know that. That's news to me. I thought I thought North was going to hang around for another year. And just like I knew Greg Olsen was leaving. So he said Greg Olsen's going to Monday Night Football. Carolina's in disarray right now. So based on the stuff that didn't happen over the last couple of years, it'll be another few years before we see Carolina return to form. I wish everybody there the best of luck. Maybe a few years.
A little while. It's going to be a little while, bro. I mean, hey, listen, you're messing with the two main things that help an organization at least be remotely competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Head coach, quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did with his time as a majority owner, soft owner, or whatever in Pittsburgh, but I don't think I could give him credit for us being a Trojan horse for other football places. That's about it because it don't seem savvy at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, we turn our attention to the dumpster fire that is the Cleveland Browns. Now listen, I was one of the ones, Glass, I even did like little vignettes and stuff before the season started based around the Cleveland Browns. I did like little spotlight videos on the Cleveland Browns. Me, just like a lot of other people, saw what John Dorsey and them have been building over the last couple of years. And I still will say, even now, after the terrible season that they finished with, if you look at that team on paper, they shouldn't be in the situation that they're in. But they fried Freddie Kitchens after one season, which we all agree that Freddie Kitchens shouldn't have been there in the first place. It should have been Greg Williams the whole entire time, right?
Right.
They parted ways with Freddie Kitchens, and then I think today or yesterday, they finally got rid of John Dorsey after like 2 seasons as GM. All right, Glass, I know you want to dig into the Cleveland Browns. I'm just saying, so they got to start back at square one again. So what you think about the Cleveland Browns?
I don't know what the hell the Cleveland Browns doing right now. To me, myself, I don't know how you guys feel. Freddie Kitchens was a bad move. Don't get me wrong. Okay, get rid of him. John Dorsey, on the other hand, the 2 years he been there, let me see, I've got it on notes. You brought in Marius Randall in the trade, Denzel Ward in the draft, Olivier Vernon in the trade, Sheldon Richardson in free agency, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham in the trade. Nick Chubb in the draft, Kareem Hunt in free agency. Okay, Baker Mayfield, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But you got all these players. We thought it was a playoff. I thought it was a playoff team. I sipped the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
But John Dorsey bringing all these players in, so that goes to show me that John Dorsey know what he's doing.
Yes.
You have a discussion. You have a meeting on Tuesday. Y'all don't see eye to eye, and y'all parting ways. What the hell did the Cleveland Browns doing what Cleveland Browns do right now?
So, Jamie, what it tells me is that was what we talked about a couple of years ago. There's something going on in the front office. It's something happening in the front office because there is no way that this Cleveland Browns team was supposed to fail. No way. I mean, like, if they were going to fail, it would probably have been because of Baker Mayfield, because he's a 50-50 type of guy. I like Baker Mayfield, but I'm disappointed, JB. I don't know what else to say. What you got to say about it?
I personally don't care, but again, the staples in the franchise: head coach, quarterback. If you got one, you fail. If you got both, you got a chance. And they don't have either, in my opinion. That they don't have either, and they hadn't had one in 20 or 30 tries, draft or trade. The quarterback position been a revolving door. Head coaching position been a revolving door. Dorsey was the mainstay. I don't know what they're doing, but it ain't hard. It ain't. If you look at organizations that turned it around, from rags to riches, they got rid of people who've been there. They overstayed their welcome. So.
But to Glass's point, and Slim J says, mark my words, by 2021 they'll be looking for another quarterback, and we'll move on from Baker Mayfield. I hope that ain't true.
I feel like it is true though.
They spent a lot to get Baker there, and I actually don't think Baker's a bad quarterback. We saw Baker under the tutelage of what's his face last year, Greg Williams. And he was a different player, right? Now, his interception count and errant throws and stuff is still an issue, but I think he performed better under that kind of, coaching than he did. I don't know, something about Freddie Kitchens' coaching style, it just didn't work for me,
Well, he didn't have one. He ain't never been a head coach in the league. And number two, he ain't even been a coordinator. Q, it don't matter if Baker Mayfield a lot went into acquiring him. Get, how many number one draft picks them played for Cleveland outside of just not even at quarterback. Yeah. So it don't make no difference if you can't like Glass. I'm gonna quote you on this, Glass. You always said this: you can have the ingredients to make the cake, but if you ain't got the chef, it ain't gonna work.
Absolutely.
And that's been Cleveland's story.
Yeah, but my whole thing is this is what I'm still in shock about, Glass. You bring in that much talent in that short amount. First of all, this reminds me a lot of the what is it, 2001, 2003, 2000 something Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? So 3 years prior to them winning the Super Bowl, who was down there? Lightbulb Head was down there, right? Building that team. What's his name? On Sunday Night Football. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
What's his name? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about. Indianapolis Colts head coach.
Yes, he was building that team down there.
Dungy. Thank you.
He gets fired. Who comes in there and wins the Super Bowl with? No, Dungy won the Super Bowl, right? Gruden won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he built that team. Gruden came and got the championship.
So I'm thinking Dorsey and them done, and I'm gonna say Hugh Jackson, right? Built this nice team. And then these guys completely messed it up. They're supposed to be playing this weekend. I think the Cleveland Browns are supposed to be playing football this weekend. They should have finished with a 10-6 record, but they didn't for whatever reason. And I blame it squarely on the coaching.
The quarterback about to join the Jameis Winston 30-30 club. It's not a winning team, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's the coaching for simple fact. They had so many penalties.
Yes.
It was just out of hand. He had no institutional control over that team.
Right. Nope.
And then, of course, with the fiasco with
hitting people in the head.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, he just over his head on this situation. So it was a bad coaching pick.
Getting caught on tape. Jarvis Landry arguing with the coach. Right. Odell had his week.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield can't shut the hell up. I mean, come on, you can't win like that. It's 2 free wins for Pittsburgh, Ravens, Cincinnati if they was good.
But the thing is, it's like we've been dealing with this Brown situation for the better part of what 10 years now.
20 since they've been back in '99. They ain't never been a winner.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I don't know what they can do to fix it.
Hey, you know what the problem is?
Right.
The front office. The front office is in disarray, and if the front office is in disarray, everything underneath is going to be in the same position.
Terrible, man. You know what?
Imagine Josh Allen with that talent on that Cleveland Browns team.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I just named Josh Allen because he's a good quarterback, but I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying that he playing with. He don't get talked about a lot.
He playing with lesser talent,
but he's better than Mayfield. He's in the playoffs.
Man, can you see Josh Allen with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham,
and that defense,
and Landry?
Yeah, crazy. That's why I say I think they squandering all that talent away in Cleveland. But you know what? We got to talk about the New York Giants. We got to talk about the New York Giants. Listen, they fired Pat Shurmur, I think, after 2 years. It's 2 years with him, right?
Yes.
2 years. But they retaining Dave Gettleman. Right? So, now, I don't know, JB, I don't know who made these moves. I don't know who did all that crap last year with Coughlin and Eli and what was the black quarterback's name from the Jets who started over Eli that 1 week and he was horrible.
Yeah.
Geno Smith. Listen, I don't know who did all that, but they completely jacked up the New York Giants. They set the New York Giants back about 6 years, in my personal opinion. What you think?
And touching on Barkley's career being the suckiest team with the #1 pick coming into the next season.
Right.
But I think I don't like the fact what's happening with Eli. I think he should have left on his own terms.
Yes.
A little bit sooner because the Giants weren't going to get no better after, especially guys like Beckham leaving and et cetera. Landon Collins, all them leaving. He should have started writing on the wall. But I think they're going to start over and he ain't going to be part of it.
No, I don't think so either. You know, he was talking about in a locker room interview, talking about his future. And I was like, man, I hope you don't think he's coming back as a Giant, right? You know what I mean? But then I threw this at Vernie, right? I was like, well, 2 places I could think he could go, right? He could go to, his road to Jacksonville probably got marred a little bit when they let go of Tom Coughlin a little while ago. So that connection is kind of broken. But there was another team I was talking to her about, and she just said, no, there was no way possible. He could go to Cleveland, not Cleveland. He could go to Cincinnati and play, right? He could go there. They gonna need a quarterback.
Who's really gonna pick up Eli?
And listen, what about this? What about that? This is the one I threw away. What about Tampa? What if Eli went to go play in Tampa? Right? Or
he'll go 30 for 30.
Or go back to where he was originally drafted, LA Chargers, right? What about that one? Just saying. I don't know. But the Giants gonna need a few years, in my opinion. Glass. What you got on?
Man, back to what I was saying. You know, JB stated. I'm gonna state it again. You know, I'm bringing the groceries. I need a chef to fix it for me.
Yeah.
How you gonna retain Gettleman? He's the guy that got rid of Beckham.
Yep.
Collins.
Yep.
Collins. Exactly.
Everybody.
So it's like, you still ain't fixed what you need to fix. So you know what, New York Giants. I think the Jets gonna be better than the Giants. I think the Jets gonna be better than the Giants will be in the next 2 years.
Right. Well, wasn't it Dave Gettleman who convinced the Giants to spend $200 million on that defense, and then he had traded the dudes away to Cleveland?
You
paid Beckham.
Right.
Talking about you're not going to trade him, and then you trade him.
That don't make no sense. That's bad. That's bad business right there. You paid the guy. I think it was he not the highest paid or the closest to the highest paid.
No, he was the highest paid at the time. Yeah.
Okay. So they paid all that money for Janoris Jenkins to come. See, here's my thing on Gettleman. I think he just see it as somebody don't agree with something he say, he take it personal and he get rid of him. That's what happened with him and Steve Smith. Guys that's pretty much strong-willed. Josh Norman, they say I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
They got to go. He want a bunch of yes men around him.
But you know what? We just talked about Ron Rivera, because Ron Rivera, Dave Gettleman, and Cam Newton are kind of all linked together, right? So those accolades that we gave Ron Rivera, Dave Gettleman had a hand in a lot of that too. He brought them draft picks to Carolina. He produced a lot of that stuff, those division titles and that NFC championship and that Super Bowl berth and all that. So he got, his resume is dope. He gonna get a job somewhere, you know what I mean? So maybe they're looking at that in New York and was like, we're gonna keep this man on board, because he turned Carolina from 4 and 12 team to, the next year they were 10-6 or something like that.
Well, guess what? Without the pairing of Rivera, he didn't do that for New York. Actually, didn't he originally get fired from New York to come to Carolina?
Something like that, yeah.
Nah, I don't believe in Gettleman. I think Gettleman, he's a tyrant. He make people feel like they job on the line. So they that's what was happening to the players in Carolina. They were they were playing hurt. They didn't get a chance to kind of come to him and say, hey, man, I can't go today, because he'll let you go.
So Slim J says Gettleman didn't draft nobody good. Didn't he draft Shaq Thompson? Didn't he draft what's the wide receiver's name? The two wide receivers that he drafted are not there anymore. That was
Bird and somebody else.
Kelvin Benjamin and the other one who went to play in New England for a little bit, number 11. What was his name? But anyway, so I guess you're right. So you're right, Slim J. Shaq Thompson came out of that, right? So I would say that. So he did draft him. And Christian McCaffrey was a Hurney, right?
Don't Gettleman come from that Tom Coughlin tree of finding guys like this 2020, man. Right. This ain't 1919 when he first got in the league. They find guys $10,000 for being 2 minutes late.
Right. Yeah.
We want him out. We want him out of here.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars owner Shad Khan said that GM Dave Caldwell and Coach Doug Marrone will come back in 2020. And Khan called the team's 2019 results unacceptable, but he said the stats plan convinced him to keep both of those guys, right? So Marrone and Caldwell, they're going to stay. Now, I didn't think nothing was going to happen to Doug Marrone. It's so much disarray and turnover at the quarterback position because of what they got rid of Portals and brought in Foles. He gets hurt. Then we get Minshew. There's a lot going on there. Right. And you can't really put that on the coach. In my opinion, Jim.
Now, all of them, including Jalen Ramsey, didn't old man's style of finding guys for being 1 or 2 minutes late. That's if you're 2 minutes early, you get a fine. Right. They want you to be 10 minutes early. I'm serious. This stuff it was happening in New York.
Right. And I think Ramsey put it out there when in the interview saying that he had a problem with the coach, even though that one time he argued on the field with the coach. He said he had no problem with the coach, just people in the back office, which of course is Coughlin. So I think that was a good move, getting rid of Coughlin and keeping Marrone and the GM. So
so I think that's probably the best one until they figure this quarterback situation out. There's going to be a couple of veteran quarterbacks out there. Going to be a couple of new ones that's going to be out there. They got some things that they're going to think about when they want to talk about that quarterback situation in Jacksonville. But I was more concerned about how their defense fell off in one season from last year. That was more concerning to me. The Dallas Cowboys. So first it was word that Dallas was planning on removing Jason Garrett following a loss to the Washington team or elimination from the playoffs. Both things, no, they beat Washington. They beat the brakes off Washington. They beat the brakes off Washington, but they still got eliminated by the Philadelphia Eagles, though.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we were expecting. Now, me, I've been expecting the removal of Jason Garrett since like week 14. I'm saying, right? But now it's like he declined to comment on Jason Garrett's status, and now he's supposed to go and meet with him. Yesterday, I think it was, right?
Twice.
Yeah.
Met with him Monday, and he's supposed to meet again with him Tuesday.
So my thing is, what is he doing, JB? Is he at the point where he's trying to convince Garrett, hey man, I don't want to fire you. I don't want you to have a firing on your resume. I'm gonna let your contract, run out so you can look good going somewhere. What's going on, JB? What's happening in Dallas?
Unlike Tepper, and unlike the people who let Gruden's brother go in week 4 or something like that. Jerry Jones want to make sure the I's and T's dotted and crossed with his new guy he bringing in. So that's the holdup.
Okay.
So these guys need to, the guy that he's gonna bring in need to go ahead and commit. So because that's keeping Garrett on life support.
Right. So was it Urban Meyer like we thought it was a couple weeks ago?
Whoever it may be, right? It could be a whole bunch of guys. Right. But I'm saying if there's a holdup somewhere on that end.
So Jason Garrett is gonna be hanging in limbo. Jason Garrett know he's gonna get fired. But he
can leave him in limbo for months. They offseason gonna be a little bit longer.
They're gonna at least for 1 month. I think his contract up January 14th. Right, so I don't think he want to actually fire him. He just gonna let his contract run out. And just like JB said, I think as his contract running out, Jerry Jones and Steve Jones looking high and low for the next head coach.
Right.
You can't bring in just any head coach. It used to be America's team. I ain't gonna call it America's team, but it's high-profile team out there, so you can't just bring in somebody that don't know what they're doing, even though you had somebody that didn't know what they was doing for the past 10 years.
So my concern with whoever they bringing in, and I don't know who it is. No names have been announced. But if we go by history, if they're gonna have success in Dallas as a head coach, they need to have full autonomy. And I can't think of Jerry doing that. But anybody else, like because he did that the last time he did that, he fell out with the guy, Jerry. What was his name?
Johnson.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson.
Johnson.
So I don't think he want to go through that again, JB. So he's not going to give up the reins. So is anybody really breaking down the Dallas Cowboys' door to go in there for interviews? Like what's really going on in Dallas?
Now, unless you want that stepping stone, I mean, it's a pretty glaring, glamorous one to be coaching or playing for the star. But you're gonna have to deal with Jerry Jones. And he ain't going nowhere because I don't know what he's doing to stay alive, but he ain't going nowhere. And he's going to assume his position there with the Cowboys. And he want to call the shots. He want to be the reason why.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just got to keep my eyes on Dallas and see what's going to happen. I really feel like, Les, if for whatever reason they bring Jason Garrett back, I don't know, like, what are they trying to do? You know what I mean? Like, and then there's the Dak Prescott situation, right? Which I find hilarious. I ain't even gonna lie. I think the Dak Prescott situation is the funniest thing ever, right? So,
what you mean by that? Oh, his contract?
Absolutely. I find it utterly hysterical. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because let's look at the last week, for example, right? So they're playing for their playoff lives, right? Now they've been sitting there with a playoff berth, kind of like sitting there for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? All they had to do is keep winning games and whatnot.
Right.
They were losing them, right? And then, then they put themselves in situations where they done lost all these stupid games, losing to teams that are actually credible and beating the brakes off teams that don't matter. And then they getting bullied by what I call an underdog team in the division. Like, how Philly come out of nowhere and holding y'all hostage like that? Like that's crazy to me. Then you go out and have the game of your life when the playoff is on the line, the playoff berth is on the line. You go out and ball all the way out, and it means absolutely nothing. I thought that was the most hysterical thing I've seen all year. I thought it was funny. You know?
I think the quarterback, the coach, the owner, all that was all messed up. Number one, Dak Prescott should have signed that contract. He was winning them 4-0 at the beginning of the season.
Right. Yeah.
They should have got that money while you was hot. Now, you sitting here overthrowing people. Mari Cooper, he looking up there like, who the hell he throwing at?
Right. Yeah.
It's just a bad look. If he gets $30 million, he just better be happy with that. Don't be looking for the $40 million. It ain't gonna happen. Don't try to be the highest paid quarterback. It's not gonna happen.
I think he's gonna have to wait another year for it, JB. I think they're gonna have to let that.
Oh, you think?
Well, I think so.
You gonna franchise tag him?
Well, I don't think the franchise is up yet. I think it's next year, right? I think he's still got a year left on his deal.
No.
Oh, we don't.
I think this was it.
Well, he should be looking for a franchise tag to come this way. You know what
I'm not mistaken. I think this was the year.
Okay, well there it is. Then. All right, the last thing I want to talk about with the coaching thing before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. I read this article, Glass. I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, where it said that a lot of these collegiate level black coaches were declining interviews with the NFL because they thought it was a sham because of the stupid Rooney Rule stuff. And they didn't want to interview. A couple of them declined interviews with Carolina because they said that you know what, they thought it was a waste of time and they didn't want to do it. Now, my takeaway from that article was I feel where they're coming from, but how do you know who's really pursuing you and who's just going with the just trying to fulfill the Rooney Rule? So, Jimmy, I'm coming to you first. So, apparently in this article there was at least 7 coaches who declined interviews with teams that wanted to interview. What you think about that?
I think it's something to it. Historically, right now, we're talking about legendary players. Obviously, knew more about the game than some of these people that they never put on pads.
Oh yeah,
they get a job, and all of a sudden, the team suck. Like they have no clue about what's going on. So there's something there. These guys wouldn't. Because that's the ultimate goal is to be a head coach in the NFL. And if you taking the approach to not even him to try because you feel like it's a song and dance, then
Right.
I believe him.
Yeah, my thing is just that I feel like I don't want these dudes to waste opportunities. You see what I'm saying? Like because of the stigma of the Rooney Rule, you know, you say, well, you know what? I'm not going to New York to the Jets to interview with them because they just playing me. You know, they got a guy that they're trying to get. I'm not going to interview at Carolina or these other places. You know, I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's a fine line, and I feel like if it was me, no matter how strongly I felt about it, Glass, I would have to go to every interview. I would have to do it. I'm just saying. Okay, you shaking your
head. That's the
okay.
difference between me and you.
Oh, okay.
Damn the Rooney Rule.
Right.
If you call me in, let's look at the team that's out there.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns,
Yep.
the New York Giants,
Yep.
at the time, the Washington professional football team,
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Outside the Carolina Panthers, would you even want to even interview for them teams?
No.
Cleveland Browns, you see how they did Hugh Jackson?
Absolutely.
Damn that. If I'm doing good in the college level, I'm waiting for the best opportunity I can to get in the NFL.
Absolutely.
I'm not picking them teams to go up in the NFL just to get fired the next year.
And that is a absolutely number one reason why Freddie Kitchens got the job in Cleveland. Because nobody was like, I'm not doing that, bro.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna be here through the dog days as soon as it.
So you think that's
because Hugh Jackson did the 2 and 14 and all that,
Yeah,
1 and 17.
Absolutely.
And then this other guy comes in. No, that's nah.
So you think that's the reason why we didn't see that many coaching vacancies this season? Or because I'm pretty sure, halfway week 8, week 10, your season, like you Cardinals or you somebody who that the season ain't going the way you wanted to go, especially like Carolina, right? Like the bottom fell out of, like we might have to make a coaching change, right? So you're already thinking that super early on, right? But ain't nobody answering the telephone, like so other people they like these teams, Jacksonville, ain't holding on to their coaches because ain't nothing out there.
The league, in my opinion, the league has got to right the wrong of Lovie Smith. Yeah. Until you do that, I don't blame. Don't come. Don't do it, bro. Mm-hmm. Let somebody else be the face of dumpster fires. Don't touch it, bro. Don't be the fall guy, because that happened to Todd Bowles, that guy down in Tampa Bay. Yeah. I got the Jim Caldwell. The list going and on. Lovie Smith at the top until you fix that, because that was done. There's no justification.
You know what? I agree. I definitely agree.
Lee Wilkes in Arizona.
Yep, and the dude that your boy in Denver, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's crazy, and I don't even know how many black head coaches we got right now, like currently at the moment. I don't even know how many we got. It's probably only
Chargers,
Mike Tomlin,
Steelers.
Yeah, I think that's it. And then you got Ron Rivera.
Oh, in Miami.
Oh, they do that in Miami. So, I mean, it ain't a lot. It ain't a lot.
It ain't a lot. No, a handful.
So,
yeah.
It's just weird to kind of see, like, when I read the article, that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. And I was like, because I was wondering, it's only been like 3 firings. And I was like,
since we're talking about, go ahead,
Glass.
We got the job openings. You could I want to know. Give me your pick of which is the ideal team for a head coach to take between the Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers, New York Giants, and hopefully the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, honestly, I would have said Carolina, but I'm not so sure about that now. The franchise quarterback is on the mend, right? All these old players who they hadn't got a chance to replace properly are retiring, right? You still got O-line problems. You still got secondary problems. I don't know if I touch Carolina right now, right? Definitely not touching Cleveland, right? Going nowhere near Dallas.
This is the biggest issue I got with the league, and this let me know that something's afoot. Just so people don't think that I'm just making claims or trying to brush with a big old broad paintbrush. Okay, so 70 to 85. I want to say 90% without data in front of me. 90% of the league is a predominantly black sport, right? Yes. The players, the Hall of Fame is littered. Mostly over 50% predominantly black players, okay? So you telling me the black player that make the sport is only good enough to boy pass in Cleveland. No GMing, no head coaching, and no quarterbacking. Right. So every time there's a black head coach, it's news. Every time it's a black quarterback, it's news, or it won't last, or this, that, and the third. Right. And I mean, we don't even get a chance to criticize the black GM because there's none.
Right.
Zero.
It's not a whole lot,
Zero.
We had a few. We had the one that had in New York who they fired last year. Jerry Reese, and we had, your guy. Is your guy still there? Is Ozzy still in the GM role?
Retired.
So he ain't even there no more, right? And I think that was pretty much the bulk of it right there, right?
Yeah.
That's what you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's a weird situation the NFL got themselves in.
That makes me right there. That makes me iffy because it's a black male athlete driven sport.
It is, and then I see a lot of these guys when they get done, and I was wondering like why didn't he go into coaching? Why didn't he get into coaching? But then you saw a few of them that did, like your Joey Porters, your Ed Reeds. There's a couple of them that got into it, but not as many as you would think. And not as many as you would think. So I don't know.
But I understand. The politics, because it's politics no matter what you're doing. If you recycle cans, you pick up pennies. If there's another group, there's gonna be some politics. So right. Come on.
Okay, so with all that, we got that. So we done put a bow on the 2019 NFL campaign. Okay, it's done, right? Don't even crying over spilled milk for everybody whose team didn't make the playoffs. I'm one of them. Whoever's team, look, I think we're number 6 or 7 in the draft this year. I think. Sure, I know we top 10. I know that much, but that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this postseason and the draft coming up. So if your team to make the playoffs, hey man, pick one of these teams, one of these 12 teams, and lock in with them. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I might throw some purple on or whatever. I don't know,
man.
So I don't know. But let's break it down, right? We got Wildcard weekend coming up. Before we get into the games, Glass. Because the playoff picture is set. Okay, where we know who the seeds are and what's happening and all that good stuff. Let's analyze that real quick. Let's look at it. We saw 2 changes. One on the AFC end, one on the NFC end, right at the last minute, right? Yep. We got the Tennessee Titans knocking the Pittsburgh Steelers out and solidifying their spot, right? Yes, right? And then you had the, not Seattle Seahawks, the, what am I thinking of? Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles slide in there and get Dallas up out of there, right? Okay, but now we set, okay? First question for you, JB.
But you missed the one that I really love.
Oh, which one was that?
The Miami Dolphins
not the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots got to play this weekend.
Out of the bye. They got to play this weekend.
They got to play this weekend. That's right. Yeah. Yes. Which is we'll talk about later. But I'm just saying that's not a good look for New England. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But JB, I'm gonna throw the question to you first. We'll start on the NFC side. Who do you think, with the playoff picture being set up the way it is, who do you think is the most dangerous squad in that setup right now?
Minnesota.
Ooh, why?
Minnesota is and they're gonna get like an early test, but Minnesota's the most dangerous squad in there, in my opinion.
So no vote of confidence for the team that held that number 1 spot for a long time, but then I think they ended up losing it, the San Francisco 49ers. So stock was up, and I don't know. So you said the stock is down now? I mean, I'm gonna tell you.
Hey man,
I think the stock is down with San Francisco.
Hey man, I like them. Don't get me wrong. I think they deserve everything everything they got up to this point. But man, you're going to first time you had to go in overtime with Russell Wilson with 0 defense.
Yeah.
Then you let a guy who come in off the street score. I mean, come on. That ain't a good look, bro. I mean, I understand Marshawn's who he is, but I'm saying you let Russell hang around like that, and they lost that game by an inch.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna hurt me to my heart to say. But I think Drew Brees and them Saints are the one to watch over there, bro. It's something about them and that squad that they have that make them super scary to me. And I think they playing this weekend too, right? No, they have the number 2 seed.
No, they number 1.
Oh, they have the number 1 seed. So and that makes it even worse. They get a week of rest. They're gonna
be a tough out. They're gonna be a tough out for anybody.
I think the Saints are probably the one to keep your eye on. I'm just saying, right?
Whoa. The Saints play this weekend. They play Sunday.
That's what I thought. Because they got the 3 seed, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Right. Yeah. So they do play the fight. They play JB's. That's gonna it's a good game. That game is gonna be amazing. And it's the Vikings, and it's that whole thing which happened like a year or so ago.
That's right.
That's correct. So we got all that to do. I'm gonna say, Glass, I think the Saints are the most dangerous squad to watch. What you got on it?
Oh man, I'm gonna give you the AFC and the NFC. The NFC is gonna be the Seattle Seahawks from the 5th seed. running from the bottom, going all the way to the top.
I'm a little bit worried.
Got to play them right. Now I'm gonna tell you the other one, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
yes.
They're gonna run through the Texans, and they're gonna run through either the Patriots or the Titans.
Yeah.
Hey,
but you know what? I'm gonna say on the AFC side of that. Look, I don't know if I agree with you on the Seahawks. I'm gonna tell you why. I think the Seahawks are kind of going into the playoffs less than they are not at 100% full. Like they just brought in 2 running backs off the couch. I don't know if I fully 100%. You know what? I think they're gonna make noise, but are they the most dangerous NFC team? I don't know about that, right? But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about the AFC team, JB. I am scared to death of the Tennessee. Look, they got in by tooth and nail, scratched their claw to get in there. They got to face the reigning Super Bowl champions first test, and I think they're gonna win. But we'll talk about that later. I think they're gonna win if they can knock off the Patriots. I'm telling you, man, the rest of the AFC, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be
but
crazy.
The thing about the Titans is that you just don't know which Titans team.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. And because when they show up, they could be great. Right. They got everything they need to go to Foxborough and beat the hobbling Patriots.
Right. Yeah.
But it depends on if they show up or not. Because all it takes is like when they ain't they self, and that happened more times than none this season. All it takes is one bad thing to happen. They return. New England return a punt or block a kick. They concede. Right.
And so who did you think was the most? I mean, besides from the Purple Bird, who do you think was the most dangerous team on the AFC side?
I think the stoutest defense in the AFC playoffs is Buffalo.
Okay.
They'll cause you problems but they got weaknesses too, and it's their quarterback and their run game. But just the defense to keep them in it.
Yeah, I think so too. I still think Baltimore is the team to beat, but I think Tennessee is one I'm probably gonna have my eye on. And that listen, Seattle Seahawks 5668. This is what he gonna say, right? And I don't know when you're gonna like. I know you're gonna, especially if the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. He gonna never let me forget it. He said my Seahawks making the playoffs at 4-12 was surprising to me because I said they were gonna go 4-12.
He gonna let you live that day.
Hey, man, I'm shocked too because before they acquired Clowney, that Russell was all they had.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
I mean, granted, they drafted Metcalf, but I didn't know what he didn't have enough on him.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. From when I made that proclamation, 5668, when I made that back in July, whenever we did that. Look, I really believe that the Seattle Seahawks were a 4-12 team. I am really surprised that they are where they are right now. I really am. But it is what it is. I mean, that was in July. I'm just saying, right?
And that's why I still think, even though Lamar's he's doing great and McCaffrey did great and Cook did, I don't know about MVP, but I still think Russell deserved it because he got nothing. I mean, especially on the defensive side, that's not. And I mean, KJ Wright by themselves.
They were pretty much having to gut out every single win, man. But they've been doing it. So. Hey, it is what I think that the Seahawks are probably the most deserving team in the NFC. So, it's been good though. It's been good. All right, guys. Wildcard weekend, bro. Let's get it cracking. Let's do it.
You ready?
Let's go. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Yeah. Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, 3:35 p.m. We got the 10-6 Buffalo Bills going to NRG Stadium and play the 10-6 Houston Texans. Who y'all got?
This one right here kind of make me a little bit nervous because, you know what? I think I trust Buffalo more than I trust Houston, right? Houston is one of them teams like Kansas City. Like, finally, Kansas City got that bye, right? And I think they're going to make big noise because of the bye. I think that's one of the things that they really needed. And I think if Houston is ever going to make that run to the Super Bowl, they're going to need to get like a 1 or 2 seed. I think it's going to be hard for them to do it from any other spot because they don't have what it takes to get over that hump. It's either injuries or quarterback has a bad day, whatever it is. It's just whatever. I can't really put my trust in the Houston Texans to get it done. I'm rolling with the Buffalo Bills this year. That's what I'm going. JB, where you at with it?
I would love the storybook. I do like the Buffalo Bills making the playoffs. Yeah. 2 out of the last 3 years is pretty great for that franchise, especially what they've been through. Yeah. But I like the Texans because they're at home and they're gonna get a return of 99. He'll be back. I don't see nobody in the secondary that can stop number 10. And if Fuller go, that's gonna be another threat. And with Watson's legs and Allen being semi-statue, he will take off. But I just think it's too much for Buffalo to overcome.
Oh wow. So, okay, that's pretty cool. That's a nice outlook on it. All right, Glass, what you got with it?
I'm gonna go with the storybook. I like Watson. I like Hopkins over there. I like the offense on at the Texans. I know they're playing at home, but something about the Buffalo Bills, we didn't see this 10-6 Buffalo Bills team coming along. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Josh Allen, all he got to do is manage the game. Frank Gore, he's an old workhorse, but he's working that horse though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the shock. I'm gonna say the Bills gonna go into Houston and take a game.
Oh yeah, I fully believe that's gonna happen, man. But hey, you know,
I'll be the only outlier there because I'm gonna be the only one that's right about this game.
Well, no, I think Verdi is all about them Texans right now. So
I just think I
hitch yourself to that wagon right now. So
I don't believe that they can. They I don't think they were prepared for. I don't think they understand. If JJ Watt decided to come back, he ain't gonna come back just to be a prop out there.
I don't know, man. That Buffalo defense ain't no joke either, though, man.
Do you remember what happened the last time they played in the regular season?
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, JB.
Hey, what's the D-back's name on Buffalo? Smith, the one that tied with most interceptions?
White.
No.
White. Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm just going on history, and maybe the Texans are better. It's just like they fall flat in big situations. I don't know, man. They got
the Texans are definitely most like they are regular one and done, but not this time.
Oh, okay. I like it. All right, Glass. Take it away.
All right, Saturday night, 7:15 p.m. You got the 9-7 Tennessee Titans going up to Gillette Stadium to play the 12-4 New England Patriots. Wow. Who y'all got?
Wow. Now
I'll go first. I go first. I'm not going to throw dirt on the living. I'm not saying the Patriots are done by no stretch.
Okay.
This is pure based on X's and O's because we done seen this from New England before. They weren't going to do this. Brady was old. Yeah. He got this. He got that. Players are ill, out. Nah. I still think that they as long as they got Belichick, he'll come up with something. On the other hand, X's and O's, they just don't have a damn enough. They just don't have enough. And if Brady can make N'Keal Harris a star all of a sudden, because after 16 weeks, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You
I'm gonna take the Titans, bro.
Okay, so listen, the way you laid it out, you didn't want to throw no whole lot of things at the. I'm gonna say this: the dynasty is over, and I think actually it's gonna be these Tennessee Titans that finally put the legacy of Tom Brady to rest, and I think it ain't gonna be just a win by the Titans. They're gonna beat the brakes off the Patriots. It's gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the last time the Patriots had to play a wild card weekend, what happened?
Yeah.
We got him. We went up there and got him. Well, Ray Rice did it, but we went up there and got him.
This is not a good situation for the Patriots, especially with all they got going on right now. Right? They have zero offense. Tom Brady is a million years old. He's been showing his age this season. And I'm just saying they got to play from the bottom to the top.
There's one thing about this game that make me not favor the Titans, though.
Yeah.
They will make you make a mistake.
All they got to do.
The Titans don't play perfect football.
All the Titans got to do, and they got their little crazy shotgun slinger, Ryan Tannehill. Get a ball to Derrick Henry. That's all you got to do, and the game is over. That's shit. That's what they do.
You know, the Patriots are known to take away your strong suit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I think they're gonna stack the box on Derrick Henry. You know, Tannehill gonna have to find other ways to defeat that team.
Yeah.
The next one. You play in Gillette Stadium. You know everything goes wrong for the visiting team that go in Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Vrabel knows that. So Vrabel, a former New England Patriots player, probably be prepared to tell everybody, you know what, we're going to stick with this game plan. If this happens, we're going to fall to this. If this happens, we're going to fall to that. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong with Derrick Henry. I hope he's able to run for like 100-something yards. With all that being said, though, I cannot pick the Patriots. They are out of their elements. They don't have a bye. They're in the wild card weekend. They're not used to this. Titans, they're going to shock the world and beat them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this so it'll go down on the record because I'm not throwing dirt on the living.
Yeah.
And I don't like the Patriots at all, but I can give some respect to the greatest of all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I would love for the Patriots to win, but the Titans to win, but I'm going to pick the New England Patriots to win the game.
Oh, no. I'm going to go all the way out there.
I'm putting all my chips.
Look. I feel like it's in the air, JB. It's been in the air since the kickoff of the season. It's been in the air, bro. Like the Patriots are done. It's over.
I won't say it in private. I'm definitely not going to say it on. I'm not betting against.
I would never take
this
anything.
game. I don't think they're a good enough team to win the Super Bowl, but not this game.
No, no. For the first time in forever, they're going to be winning that in the playoffs. And I'm telling you, not taking nothing from the legacy of Bill Belichick or Tom Brady or none of the other players that came through there. Look, everybody knows the Patriots are the best, man. They are. But that whole Patriots and
the mystique,
it's over. It's done.
I'm not betting against them in this game, not the Titans game. I would love for the Titans to win. If they do, I'll be happily wrong because they're out.
Right.
I think the college football playoff is better off without Alabama. Damn, let's give them more credit for pros.
Right. But listen, I'm gonna be cheering for the Titans so hard. Yeah. I am so ready for the NFL to move on from the Patriots, man. It's been 20 years. Can we move on, please? Can we do something different? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Hey, man, this is all a guy like Brady needs. He's too old. He lost the game for home field advantage.
I'm telling you,
be one and done. They ain't got enough. We suck.
And it's people like me that they'll go and win the Super Bowl and not be pissed off about it, right? That's
I'm just saying. I'm gonna say the Titans they got the tools to do it. It's a fact. It's a matter of getting it done.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. That's why I love playoff football. I love it. All right, Glass, where we going?
All right, on Sunday, 12:05 p.m., we have the 10-6 Minnesota Vikings going up to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome to play the 13-3 New Orleans Saints. Payback game.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. But I think
I'm listening. Go ahead. What are you about to say?
I think that the Vikings are dangerous, like JB said. But it's just, I don't know, man. I think this is Brees' last hurrah.
Okay.
He got the tools that he needs to get it done. I feel like they solid pretty much all around. Only thing would be a little bit concerned to me was when if they can get pressure on Brees, which probably nobody ever can, then that's gonna make things a little rough for them. If they frazzle and rattle him, it's bad business. But you know what? It's the Vikings, man. And look, the Saints at home. I'm just saying. I think this is their year, man. I think they will be the representation for the NFC in this year's big game. I firmly believe. I hate it because it's a division rival, but that's the way I see it, man. All right,
you're looking too far ahead. What we gonna do with the other shows if you already crowned them to go to Super Bowl?
Well, look, you said that the Chargers was going to the Super Bowl way back in June.
I did, and guess what happened? Right. They're not there. We could have talked about that. We could have corrected that week 6.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't know. I just feel like there's something going on in New Orleans right now, and they know that the window is closing rapidly, and this is a Super Bowl or bust. And that's what it is. If they can't get this one done, then Drew Brees ain't never gonna get a chance to hold that Lombardi again. And I think he want to do it one more time. You know. All right, Glass, what you got on?
All right, man. I believe in payback. This is gonna be a payback game. They're gonna remember what happened. They make sure it ain't gonna happen again. Both head coaches are phenomenal. I like both of them.
Yeah.
Quarterback wise, Cousins, he's had a good year. But going up against Brees, I don't think they got it.
Right.
Mike Thomas gonna be airing it out to Mike Thomas to Mara. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I'm gonna go with the Saints on this one. Gonna take them stay at home. It's not even gonna be close. I'm gonna say 10 to 14 points.
Okay.
Win over the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be no type of blow. I think the one blowout that we see this weekend is gonna be Foxborough, but that's neither here nor there. Just saying,
okay,
right?
Okay,
yeah, and so that leaves you, Jimmy.
This is the biggest wish sandwich I ever seen.
But, hey, look, call it what you want to. Make your pick, Great Jamie.
All right, so at first, moments ago, I said that the Minnesota Vikings was the most dangerous team in the NFC. I'm about to take that back, thinking about Kirk Cousins' record on Monday night. He 0-6 on Monday night. That's just. We're gonna translate and say that's big games. This is equivalent. This is bigger than a Monday night game.
It is.
I don't think so. And I remember them having a mutiny with the receivers early on in the season.
Right.
That ain't good enough, man. That ain't been so long ago. That was like week 7, 8 maybe.
But they got playoff on the mind, right? They're not thinking about that, right?
Nah, I don't. And plus, he had nothing to do with the whatever miracle they call that.
He wasn't there.
He had nothing to do with that. He wasn't the quarterback there at the time. That was a different team.
Yeah.
Nah, the Saints got too much of a bad taste. They on the mission. This is just the first step in the mission, and it's already bad blood or bad memory.
It is.
So,
yes, it is.
If the Rams was around, they'll get them too.
You know what they saying in New Orleans right now, Glass? You know what they saying? They probably run around with redemption T-shirts on. They got redemption is what #redemption. That's what they thinking about. You know what I'm
going to put a bold prediction out there. I think Lattimore is going to have 3 interceptions on the Vikings.
I'm taking that bet with you. Cam Jordan going to have probably about 3.5.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mugging. It's going to be good. I like that though. All right. What we're finishing up with?
We had the last game Sunday, 3:40 p.m. We got the 11-5 Seattle Seahawks going up to Lincoln Financial Field to play the 9-7 Philadelphia Eagles.
Cakewalk.
Wow. Hold on, JB. Hold on now. Cakewalk might be the wrong word, but
if I can get you to take that dummy bet, Q, take the Eagles, man.
Go ahead. I'm not gonna do that. All I'm gonna say is this though: you don't want to go through what the Eagles went through this season and all be for nothing. You know what I mean?
Not? Got enough,
especially like that.
Right.
You know, listen. I don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles gonna win either.
They got receivers that walked out of. They left college mid-season. They over there. They got nobody.
Right. They really don't. Listen, it was a miracle they got in there, and I guess they can blame their counterpart in the division, the Dallas Cowboys, for opening the door for them like that. But they really, I ain't gonna say they don't belong because they work hard.
Yeah, 9-17 get home court advantage. Come on, man. That's right there, man. Shout out to
who's getting ready
nice, no disrespect, but come on now.
Who's getting ready to put a 8-8 team in there? What are you talking about?
No chance, Q.
With the Dallas Cowboys, I'm just
no chance.
Either or, it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. I don't think.
Go ahead and pick the Eagles.
I'm not gonna pick the Eagles. I'm going with Seattle because again, Seattle was a smarter team. I feel like they got it. They're a little bit better. At this kind of stuff, they have more experience. At this than Philadelphia does. So, but I ain't gonna be like JB and say they got no chance now.
They don't have a chance, bro. That's why Darren Sproles retired, man. Come on.
But they got that little dude, Boston Scott. Yeah. That little guy, which I think that he was only playing because somebody was resting, right? Or is he? Or did they just insert him in the lineup?
He played before. He played.
Not enough. No juice.
He had 3 touchdowns last week.
No juice. I think Ertz probably banged up. Come on. Get out of here.
He's playing against New York Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still an NFL professional.
First trying to heal his ribs from the other week.
No juice, man. They're in trouble. No.
Okay.
This is the game to help, Russell with his MVP candidacy, man.
Yes, right. Yeah, it is. Because I think really he's one of the only dudes that are running that's playing this weekend, right? Because nobody. There's Deshaun Watson, right?
I don't think he was ever mentioned for MVP.
Oh, I thought it was Watson, Jackson.
No, Watson was up there.
Yeah, Watson, Jackson, and Wilson, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, I think it's going to be a good weekend for all. You folks in there.
Who you picked?
I picked Seattle, man. What are you talking about? I said I wasn't going to pick Philadelphia. You know what I mean?
Make sure, because they come back here and troll you.
Ravens said no team from the NFC least should be in the playoffs. Well, that's one of them things that like Vernon had a big argument about yesterday, saying that they should change the rules in that.
Exactly, because they're the poster boys of it right now. We done seen this before though, but ain't no way the Phillies should be hosting the playoff game, bro.
Exactly.
But then you know what? I think Vernon's tune was a little bit different when New York did it, right? When they did it a few years ago, it wasn't a big deal then, right?
I don't think if you don't win your division by at least 10 games, you shouldn't be hosting it.
When Pittsburgh did it, when they played against the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, did they back into it too?
I'm saying I don't matter who was
hosting. They wasn't hosting a home.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
No, they went on the road. But I'm saying when the Ravens did it, we did it on the road. Look, if you don't win 10 games, you don't win your division by at least 5 games, you should be
right.
Yeah, but now see,
You
see how.
should come on. No, don't make no excuses, Big Q.
No,
Ain't no dick.
I'm saying this is what he said. He said they need to seed the playoffs once all teams are decided. Now, how do you do that though? You don't do that college crap where you do it on strength of schedule and strength of competition and all that bullshit that they do in the. I mean, I'm just saying.
Don't do it by divisions. Do it by conference.
Well, right, because we got 3 13-win teams in the NFC this year, so you would have to differentiate. Now, there's some head-to-head there because obviously the Seahawks and the Niners had to play each other.
Right.
So that's a stipulation right there. But the Saints, how would you say they ain't number 1 or number 3 or number? You know, how would you?
So Philly is in there, right? And they what 9-7, right?
Right.
So does anybody that's on the outside still? Did they finish with a better record than Philadelphia?
No. Well, everybody that's in it finished with a better record than them.
No, I'm talking about who was on the outside.
9-7. Los Angeles. Rams.
So, but because they won a division, they got it. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I kind of like that. I think that's fair. Because you know what they said at the beginning of the season. Step 1 is what? To win your division, right? That's what you do. Because you win your division.
Let you be the division winner, but you based on your win-loss record, you have to go on the road. Because everybody else is head and shoulders above you.
Yeah, I mean,
but then your division opponent, like San Francisco, will have something to say by you having the first round home field advantage, and you didn't win a division because what's the point of putting all the effort in it when it comes down to 1 or 2 games?
Right.
And you know the person that's going to squeak in from the East is a 8-8 team or 9-7 team.
Right. Yeah.
So it don't matter. But I guess that make everybody in their division play harder.
I guess
because if Seattle knew that they was going to get a home game regardless because of Philly,
right,
they wouldn't have gave a damn the other night.
You know what I'm saying, right? But you know, so like Eagles would win the division but be on the 6th seed. Okay, I see what you're saying. So your argument is not that the division winner should make the playoffs regardless. You're just saying that they shouldn't be hosting a playoff game.
They should automatically go on the road.
Okay, now I agree with that. I do agree with that. Okay, interesting stuff this week. I was glad to be back, fellas. Like, man, I was really hoping that we weren't going to have to miss 3 shows, but because of the timing and the way, when I left to go on vacation and when I came back, the Wednesdays were messed up. So we didn't get to do it. We ended up missing 3 weeks, but everybody came back to see us, man, and I definitely appreciate everybody coming out tonight to check out the show. We definitely appreciate it. Sorry, we didn't get to have the show for the last, couple weeks, but we're going to finish this one out strong, and that's how we're going to do it. Let's go ahead and shut this one down, JB. Go ahead and put yourself over for everybody, man. Go ahead and do that.
All right. Well, hey, shout out to everybody who came back. We've been on a 3-week hiatus, however you call it. Looks like Q's hypotenuse worked. He finished top 10.
I did.
Yeah. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to myself. I finished top 10. Sorry, Glass.
Yeah.
But it's your league, and you're already put the politics in.
I won back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, you did. Also, shout out to Coach for winning the whole thing legitimately. Props to you, bro. It's always fun. And without further ado, you can always find me here every Wednesday unless we on hiatus. On Twitter as Raven Shogun.
All right, sounds good, man. And so I say Brady gonna grab that last ring. Yeah, okay, bro.
Who said that? Josh.
Yeah. Calm down. But yeah, that last he said, if not, watch me put that Ravens gear on. Yes, sir. Let's do it, right? But I forgot what I was getting ready to say. He threw me off. Anyway, let's go and put yourself over.
All right, man. I want to thank everybody for joining in on the show. Seattle Seahawks 5668, Slim J, Chris Worthy, Joshua AB 33.
Chris Worthy, Big Link.
I
see them on here. Shout out to my bros here. I miss y'all. I'm glad we back to finish off the season. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining Pick 'em a Shutter League of 2019, Give It Sports League. Shouts out to Coast Nation coming in first place. Steve Copeland from the Packers fan, Packers Battalion. Diego Barishnikov, third place.
Really? Okay.
Urban Arena affiliate, from AA Sports. Shout out to the First Lady, Miss Boyd, Lauren.
Lauren, let's make sure to be clear about it because we don't want to cause no drama.
Okay, right. And the comeback player of the year was Steve McCarver Jr.
There you go. I forgot about Steve McCarver. That's right.
He came down from I think he was in 19th place, came on in 6th. Shout out to him. So I appreciate everybody in there. Y'all don't catch me here at TeamBoydTV Live. You can follow me on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, The Sage of Sports, Twitter, Sage of Sports 1, and email me at thesageofsports@gmail.com. See y'all next week.
Awesome. Y'all guys, again, thank you for everybody for coming out. And I'm especially since, we missed that last couple shows. Definitely appreciate everything, fellas. Listen, man, y'all hit our links, share the stuff. Show somebody the thing. The audio podcast will be up in probably about 2 or 3 hours. So you can listen to it in the car or something like that. Listen, you guys have been awesome. We will catch y'all next week, Lord willing. We out of here. Peace.